gentlemen, please take your seats. The ceremony will begin momentarily. At this time, please turn all cell phones and electronics to silent or vibrate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 Shreveport Meps celebration of African American Black History Month. I'm Major Ben Walker, the commanding officer here at the Shreveport Meps, and I will be your master of ceremonies and officiating officer for today's program. Please stand for the posting of the colors, the playing of the national anthem, and remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Charles Gormley from the 2nd Bomb Wing, Barksdale Air Force Base.
Colors, up 10, boom! Trail on. Forward, march. Colors, hope, order, on. Left, face. Carry colors. Present arms. Order on. Post. Post the colors. Present arms. Order on. Post. Forward, march.
If you would, I invite you to please pray with me. Let us pray. Oh, gracious Heavenly Father, we come together in celebration of Black History Month. We want to give you thanks for all the contributions that African Americans have given this blessed country. Thank you for this event, which highlights acceptance and diversity, a unity that transcends race, creed, skin color, and religion. We thank you for the African American heritage, which helped pave the way for people like me and others to be treated with fairness and equality. We thank you for diversity, which excels our United States military to world-class capabilities of defending justice for all. May this celebration continue to bring honor to the characteristics of our unified community, and may we as Americans continue to stand united together. May you, O great God, bless America, keeping us to continue the core foundation that all humanity is created equal. In your precious and holy name we pray, always with honor. Amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. is my privilege at this time to introduce our leaders and honored guests. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. First Sergeant Howard, First Sergeant of the Shreveport Meps, Mr. Henry Whitehorn, the Western District of Louisiana, United States Marshal, will be our guest speaker. Dr. Raymond Hicks, Colonel Eric Sweeney, Miss Irma Rogers, Mr. Lyndon B. Johnson, Westwood Elementary School. Representing District Attorney James Stewart, we have Brittany Green and Ron Stantz. Pastor H. Calvin Austin III, Miss Sandra Lister, Bishop Andrew Bailey Jr., Master Sergeant Retired Miss Damon Humphrey, Officer Robert Shiflett, Richard McGee, Mr. Terrence Toney, Mr. James Jefferson, Miss Connie Reynolds, Miss Constance Greggs, Miss Melody McLeod, Miss Jessery Darby, Miss Carolyn McNeese, Miss Helen Amin, Miss Shavante Lewis, and Miss Carla McCullough. We would also like to recognize Southwood High School Junior ROTC cadets. Please join me in a warm welcome for all of our special guests. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and a time for recognizing the central role they have played in United States history. African American contributions to music, art, and literature are indisputably recognized throughout the global community. Additionally, African Americans have seized previously unavailable opportunities to contribute to American culture and heroically defend their country during wartime. The significant contribution of African Americans cannot be denied. Their profound impact on America continues in countless areas, including history, education, entertainment, literature, science, sports, politics, culture, and the military. This year's theme commemorates the centennial of the end of the First World War in 1918 and highlights the service and sacrifice of African Americans during wartime from the Revolutionary War until present. Featured on the front of your program pamphlet are individuals who have honorably served their country, some of whom made the ultimate sacrifice in defending this great nation. We invite all of you to join us in exploring this history. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Nadine Wallace.
I'm gonna sing a song that was performed by a lady named Nina Simone. When Martin Luther King was assassinated, she dedicated the song to him. Once upon this planet Earth lived a man from noble birth, preaching love and freedom to all his fellow men. He was dreaming of a day peace would come to earth to stay. And he spread this message all across the land. Turn the other cheek, he plead. Love thy neighbor was his creed. Pain, humiliation, death he did not dread. Oh, with his Bible at his side, from his foes he would not hide. It's hard to think now that this great man is dead. Oh yes. Well, he'd seen the mountaintop, but he knew he could not stop. Always living with the threat of death ahead. Folks, we better stop and think, 'cause we're heading for the brink. What will we do now that the King of Love is dead? Will the murders ever cease? Are they men or are they beasts? What do they ever hope to gain? Will my country stand or fall? Is it too late for us all? And did Martin Luther King, did he die in vain? 'Cause he's seen the mountaintop, but he knew that he could not stop. Always living with the threat of death ahead. Oh, well, we'd better stop and think, 'cause we're headed for the brink. What will we do now that the King of Love is dead?
At this time, I'd like to welcome the Westwood Elementary School Chorus. Right, good morning, Shreveport.
Good morning.
What a great day, even if it's rainy and cold a little bit here in northern Louisiana. Welcome and thank you to everybody for attending. I know you all have busy schedules, so I appreciate all of you being here and honoring us with your presence as we get this program started here. Our keynote speaker for today is Mr. Marshal Henry Whitehorn. He was sworn in on July 15, 2010 as the United States Marshal for the Western District of Louisiana after being recommended by U.S. Senator Mary Landrieu and nominated by President Barack Obama. Mr. Whitehorn is a veteran of the United States Air Force and served as a patrolman with the St. Louis, Missouri Police Department. He joined the Louisiana State Police in 1978, rising through the ranks to serve as the Deputy Secretary for Public Safety Services. And Governor Kathleen Blanco appointed him to lead the department of over 1,200 troopers as commander of the Louisiana State Police. In 2007, Mr. Whitehorn was handpicked by Mayor Cedric Glover to be Chief of Police for the city of Shreveport, leading over 500 dedicated men and women, the end result of a process that started in November of 2006, going through a quagmire of city and state requirements that even Mayor Glover questioned. The mayor called Mr. Whitehorn the best equipped, best prepared, and best suited for the job. In addition to the professional training Mr. Whitehorn has been through, he's earned a bachelor's degree from Louisiana State University, Shreveport in 1986, and a master's degree in criminal justice from Grambling State University in 1989. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, U.S. Marshal Henry Whitehorn.
Good morning. Good morning. And thank you, Major Walker, for that very warm introduction. I wasn't expecting all of that. To Colonel Sweeney, to our distinguished guests. I see a number of folks in the room. When I walked in this morning, I got a little nervous because I didn't expect to have a reunion of sort. All the folks that I know been present here this morning. And so I almost turned around and left because I thought I was at the wrong place. But I want to say that it is really an honor for me to be here and to serve as the speaker for this Black History celebration. And it's particularly an honor for me because I am also a veteran. And you know, I want to say to our active duty and reserve and other veterans that are here with us today, how much I really appreciate and thank you for your service to our country and the work that you do, keeping us all safe. I was told that I should take about 15 to 20 minutes this morning. To some, that may seem like an eternity. But as we celebrate Black History, 15 minutes is really not sufficient time. But I will try to honor that and be brief. And so my remarks this morning may not be your typical Black History remark, not what we are accustomed to hearing. Perhaps not even what I was invited here to say. But when I think about Black history, I think about ordinary people. I think about ordinary people, Pastor, that's doing, overcoming extraordinary obstacles in their lives. I think about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I think about ordinary black men and black women and boys and girls, none of whom were heroes or thought of themselves as such, but they overcame in spite of racism. I think about ordinary people like Deputy Chief McGee. I think about ordinary people like Pastor Austin that was telling me a story this morning about the struggles of Shreveport. I think about ordinary people like Claudette Colvin, who was just 15 when she refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama. 9 months before Rosa Parks Act of Defiance in 1955. Colonel, I think about ordinary people like Frank Peterson Jr., who was the first black Marine aviator. And in 1979, not that long ago, became the first black general officer in the United States Marines. I think about ordinary people like Bass Reeves, who was the first black deputy United States Marshal west of the Mississippi River. He served from 1875 to 1907. And it's been said that he was the real Lone Ranger.
That's right.
He was a master of disguise, expert marksman. He had a Native American companion. And oh, by the way, he rode a white horse. When I think about the Civil Rights Movement, I think about ordinary people. Ordinary people like my grandmother. And I could hear her saying, nobody is better than you. Unless they live a better life for God than you. She would say that, you know, this is not about civil rights. It's about human rights. And I also think about a story that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told about this 70-year-old black woman that was walking one day during that 381-day bus boycott. And as she was walking along, someone drove up beside her. And she was asked, would you like to ride? And when she answered no, that person in the car said, well, ma'am, aren't you tired? And this is what she said. She said, my feet are tired, but my soul is rested.
Right.
My feet are tired, but my soul is rested. You see, she understood that ordinary people supporting that bus boycott had set something into motion. So in the short time that is available for me this morning, of course I can't stand here and individually recognize all of the ordinary Africans who struggled, sacrificed, and suffered in transforming this country from 13 colonies into the United States of America. We can't individually recognize the millions of Negroes, free and enslaved, who helped build this country into one of the most prosperous nations in the history of the world. And we can't individually recognize the millions of blacks who contributed to our cultural, spiritual, political, and economic development of this land of opportunity. Millions of folk, y'all. There's a lot of people, ordinary African Americans, without whom this country would never have become the land of the free and the home of the brave. Great Americans whose names aren't in history books, Pastor. Their names aren't etched in marble somewhere. They're just ordinary men and women from all corners of this earth. Rich and poor, black and white, students, scholars, ministers, janitors, all who marched and organized to help change this country for the better. Carter G. Woodson, almost a century ago, folks, started Black History Week observance. That was later transformed into what we know as a Black History Month celebration, and still people question whether or not it's relevant. Is it still a catalyst for change? Or has it simply just become a box that we check during the month of February? I would say that it's as relevant today as it was in 1926. And so today, as we mark that 400 years since the arrival of the first 19 Africans who were disembarked in Jamestown, as we mark the 93rd year since the establishment of Black History Week, the 49th year since the first Black History Month observance, and the 43rd year of our National African American History Month. Let us honor the millions of African Americans who facilitated the creation of the most prosperous nation in the history of the world. And we also celebrate giants in that civil rights movement. And so I'm asking this morning that we just pause and reflect on our progress and our history. Not only to just remember, but also to acknowledge that we have some unfinished work. It's been said that it's not what you accomplish, Chief Smith. It's not what you achieve, but it's what you set into motion. The violent incidents and the sit-ins and the marches didn't necessarily change things on their own. They were catalysts for change. They set things into motion. And see, Black history is how we live our lives in everything that we do, every day. Not just 1 month out of the year. Because I tell you, there's not a day that goes by that we don't see, hear, touch, or smell something connected to Black history. And so we have to get to a place of understanding and appreciation for how Black history and American history is all intertwined, and that it is greater than the month of February. You see, Black history can't just be a discussion about Black contributions. It can't just be a discussion about achievements and struggles of the past. It has to be a discussion about how we continue to achieve and contribute and keep things in motion for the 21st century and beyond. Our theme this morning is about Black migration and the movement of people from African descent from the South to other destinations and subsequently to new social realities within the United States. I was a part of that second migration, Brother Johnson, when we moved from the South to St. Louis, Missouri. But you see, I grew up during segregation in the Jim Crow era. And the things that I experienced and endured reminds me daily of the journey that we have made. And our history reflects a rough journey. From the writing of the Constitution, when we were written in as property and less than 3/4 human, to the protection of slave catchers and slave owners having the right to do whatever they wanted to do to Black men and Black women and our children, to the surveillance and wiretaps of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., where the FBI was trying to get information about his alleged adulterous relationship, and then sending him an anonymous letter, basically telling him, if you kill yourself, we won't make this known to your wife and we won't make it public. You know, it's unfortunate today, Samuel, that so many of our young folk don't have an appreciation of our journey.
Yes.
They don't have an appreciation of it, Brother Stamps, because they're fortunate. They're fortunate that they have no memory of segregated schools. They have no memory of segregated restaurants and bathrooms. They have no memory of the murder of citizens whose only offense was a desire to vote and live free and to help others do the same. They have no memory of little Black children in Little Rock, Arkansas, and New Orleans, Louisiana, being escorted to school by soldiers and United States Marshals. We may have overcome many of those old problems that African Americans in this state and across the country once faced, but we still have challenges to confront and obstacles to overcome. But today as a nation, we live in a place that is stronger because of good human beings like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Congressman John Robert Lewis, Rosa Parks, and Thurgood Marshall, and many other great Americans. And so we need to continue to remind ourselves that America is a place where ordinary citizens can find in their hearts the courage to do extraordinary things. And I know that I'm not supposed to take a lot of time, and I see folks looking at their watches. So I'm gonna try to close if you give me just a couple more minutes. But no one can deny, I don't believe that you can, that we've come a long way since 1619. But we shouldn't let the celebration of Black history just be a time that we remember those countless human beings who just paved the road for us. It's a time that we need to recognize that they set something into motion. They set something into motion that we have to keep pushing forward. And we have to recognize that what they set into motion shaped the important contributions that African Americans are making today and every day in this country. I want to take this time to thank you, Major Walker, and allowing me to be a part of this celebration. I want to thank all of you for coming out to hear me, and that I didn't expect to see, and close friends and colleagues. Thank y'all so much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Marshall Whitehorn, for being here. Thank you for reminding us of the contributions that everybody, the ordinary citizens, the ordinary African Americans have made to the rights that we enjoy today. May we continue to remember that we still have a lot of work to do, and we need to continue to work, and it's ordinary Americans like all of us that are going to make that happen. So thank you for those kind words, and thank you for your insights, and I appreciate you being here. If you come back up here real quick, I have a little something for you from us here at the Meps, just a little token of our appreciation for you being here, coming and being our guest speaker. So we got a little plaque here presented to U.S. Marshal Henry Whitehorn from the Shreveport Meps in honor of our Black History observation on February 22nd. Thank you for your kind words of inspiration, reflection, and wisdom. So we'll put that on your desk somewhere or on a shelf, and just look back with fond memories of this.
I will.
I'm signing back up.
All right. Okay. Come back up here. We got more stuff. We're gonna load you down. So, in honor of your Air Force career, and about, I think we have something from all of our liaisons here. We'd also like to give you a swag bag with service-connected gear. So you can do that, and we also have one for your wife. Right. As we usually do when people honor us with their presence here and do special things for us, we have a certificate of appreciation for Ms. Nadine Wallace, and for your beautiful rendition. It was really touching. And we also have a swag bag for you. I think there's a couple of umbrellas in there too. So it works out great. So thank you for being here. Where's Westwood Elementary School? Of all those beautiful children, come in here real quick. You're not gonna bring the whole gang? Come on over here, y'all. Come on, pack it in. I know there's... Right. Didn't these young men and women here do a great job? Yeah, so they promised me that they were going to sing with their best voices, and they did. And so as usual, I like to go down to Westwood Elementary every once in a while and see them. And I'm glad they came and saw us. So in appreciation for y'all coming and singing for us, I'm going to present you guys with a certificate of appreciation from all of us here at the Meps. And so you can put this on your wall at your school and remember coming over here, and hopefully you'll come see us again soon. All right, one more round of applause for you. All right, I think we're going to beat y'all here in a minute. Y'all can go on back in there, and we'll see you in a second, all right? Whatever you're ready. All right. And then we had one more certificate, but Southwood had to leave earlier, but they did a great job presenting the colors for us and lent some extra dignity to the ceremony and the occasion. So I'll give this to
Colonel Sweeney.
Colonel Sweeney. Yeah, as the junior ROTC. All right, and I think that's all I have to present. So I know probably most of y'all are waiting to eat as well, because I'm kind of hungry too. So I think we have a great meal planned in the cafeteria there.
Already checked it, sir. Everything tastes
All
good.
right.